This is Officer Larry Bankston. Just did an interview with Real Life Street Stars. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. Hit that bell. Subscribe.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just ain't real.
Real life street stars. You know what time it is.
Real Life Street Stars, we are here. We are here. We got an important situation going on to talk about, man. Officer Larry Bankston, you were, of course, Real Life Street Stars alumni.
Yes, sir.
You've been on the couch before, and you were also on the Black Lives Matter panel where we talked about, of course, the situation with George Floyd.
Yes.
Less than, what was that, maybe 3 years ago now, 2 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
And you would think when we have conversations like that, you know, things will get put in place, which, as you said, things have been put in place when it comes to police officers. I guess you could call it whistleblowing while on active duty against other police officers when they see something corrupt happen. So things have changed because of and after the George Floyd situation. There have been laws enacted and policies in place for the police.
Yes.
You are a current police officer of the Dallas Police for how many years now?
20. I'm going on 20. It'll be 20 in April.
Going on 20 in April, man, giving 2 decades of your life to protect and serve our community.
Yes, sir.
And of course, you are of our same skin color, and that just says a lot.
Yeah.
And remind us, just so we can get your history real quick, you are from, where are you from? Are you from Dallas?
I'm from Kansas City, Missouri.
From Kansas City, Missouri, which...
Go Chiefs.
That
No, the Chiefs was originally a Dallas team, right?
Yeah.
So we rock with y'all, but don't forget where y'all came from now.
That's same thing we told Jay White. It's originally a Dallas team.
Yeah, right.
But you know, and Kansas City is not it's got its own troubles. It's, you know, so to go from Kansas City to Dallas, you know, that's his own situation.
But it helped me with police, and it helped me be the guy I am today, coming from that area.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we see a situation that just took place with police in Memphis, 5 black police officers. And first and foremost, I want to stop and pay the respect to Tyre Nichols.
And his family.
And his family, everyone that's affected, the community, those that knew him, those that, you know, even had a chance to meet him, you know, things have been forever altered, you know, with his life and in his community, in his family, of the situation that everyone's seeing take place, of what looks like, you know, what looks like a murder. Right. I don't want to, you know, everything's going to take place in the justice system, and we're going to trust the justice system. Yeah. But from what we saw in the dash and the police footage, from the body cam, you know, it looks like murder. Right. What I want to do, and what we want to have you here for, is we definitely want your thoughts and your aspect from a police standpoint of what you've seen. In the video.
Before we even get there, I want, since the last time we interviewed you, what do you feel like the status of Dallas policing is at the moment? Because, you know, we've been going, you know, we went through our own hectic, we on Botham John right now, which is the man up the street that got murdered in the name of, you know, the situation. But what do you feel like Dallas in general has either gotten better or worse? As far as
I believe Dallas has improved a lot as far as tactics and training and the mindset of even some of the newer officers that have came on to the department. Right. They have
a lot of new officers come in.
Actually, I have.
It was a black woman police chief, right?
It was, but she's no longer here.
Yeah, y'all ran her out. I ain't gonna lie, y'all ran her out.
I didn't run her
out. y'all stressed the hell out of her.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
Yeah, they gave her the blues. Yeah, but
so a lot more people have signed up to be police officers. Then has it been an influx of people signing up, or?
Yeah, it's been an influx. I mean, I would like to see more of us come on the department. I mean, because we need representation. That's a myth when you think that it's actually, you know, like I told you before, I fell for that before I became a police officer and accepted my calling. I didn't want to be no police officer.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost like people feel like you're a snitch or something if you be like you're working with the bad guys. Like, why do we have that stigma?
But I'm so glad that I listened to my greater calling than listening to the hood, because the bottom line is they all snitch. Everybody snitches.
Everyone snitches. Every situation.
Everybody snitches.
If you were to give a percentage, like if 100 people go in, how many coming out snitching?
98.
Damn, 98.
Yeah, I would say there's very, very, very rarely that people don't snitch. Very rarely. I mean, people snitch. And some of the things that people don't understand when they see detectives like buying somebody some food or something like that, they're like, man, why are they doing that? Because it's a tactic.
It's a tactic.
It's a tactic, man.
To keep them cold, is that a tactic? Like
that is a tactic. It's a simple tactic.
Damn.
You ready to get warm?
See, I want to go home.
You go say
where's my bed
to get out of that uncomfortable environment. You're already dealing with us. That's uncomfortable right within itself. Right. And then we make you more uncomfortable, making you freeze in that little room. But man, everybody snitch. I've seen dudes who I thought was straight gangster. Me and my partner at the time. This is a true story. Yeah. I told this dude, man, don't go in here messing around with this guy. Either you're going to give him some information or you're not. Just don't go in here messing around with him. Yeah. And he was on probation. So if he didn't give the guy the information he was looking for, he's basically going back to prison to finish like 20-something years. I can't remember how much it was, but I think he only had to serve like 7 years or something like that.
Oh, yeah, he has.
So when we were getting... setting him up to go talk to the guy. When he sat down with the sergeant, he was like, he tried to play tough. I ain't saying no, I ain't snitching. Sergeant's like, you're going back to prison, and just got up and walked away. And he was like, oh, wait. I said, man, I told you.
I ain't told you that. You ain't asked me the right question.
Yeah, so.
Ask me something.
But this is the part that got to me because it was a brother. So I was like, I tried to tell you. So when we were walking, and my partner was Hispanic at the time, we were walking to get back on the elevator. Man, that dude broke down, started crying, mama. He said that. Wow. Other people standing around that don't look like us, watching him cry like a little toddler yelling for his mama. And I'm like, kicking him, stop. Like you man up, man. You did that. You man up. I'm embarrassed for him. But that really did happen.
Wait, so how often do police officers how do they lie? Or not lie, but let's say put a little sauce on what could happen if they don't tell the truth. Like, because you see, hey man, you're gonna do life for this, man. Listen, your mama might do life, your child might do life. Everybody's involved.
The reality of it is, man, I was telling somebody this, and it was a different type of conversation, but we all manipulate each other. We do. I mean, when you're in relationships, even kids manipulate their parents. Parents manipulate their kids. So we're at work. We're going to try to manipulate the situation the best we can to get whatever information we need to make ourselves look good or to solve the case so that you can just go home. We want to go home too. We want to kick it too. We don't want to be at work all day.
Damn that overtime.
Yeah, for real.
I got a question. Well, if you had, let's just say, hypothetically, you had a son that was in a situation like.
Man, I have a son that's been in. I got a son that's been in jail.
Okay, would you tell him to snitch, or would you tell him like?
I would tell him to snitch.
There you go.
Yeah, you better snitch because if you don't, I mean, it is what it is. Right. I mean, and the reality of it is, speaking of growing up in Kansas City, I got friends I grew up with in Kansas City. I don't know if he's out of prison, but one in particular would look for stuff for people to give him while he was in prison information so he could call his attorney to try to cut deals to cut his time down, snitch.
Wow.
They do stuff like that. I've seen all kind of people snitch on things, man, that you all wouldn't believe.
So we asked Charleston White, he's a regular here. We asked him,
the dude, boy.
But he has said he recommend police for these young troubled kids who just doing crime and all hell breaking loose. Mm-hmm. He recommends jail in their life because they do rehabilitate a man. He come out totally different. Do you subscribe to the
same thing? Because we talk as friends. I've had my truck broken into. Yeah. I mean, truck stolen.
Stolen, yeah.
And I called him.
And retrieved.
Yeah. I've had my house broken into. I don't know if I told you that. I called them a week later. Mm-hmm. And they were all young people. And when the DA called me, what do you want me to do with them? I said, can you set it up where they have to go through mentoring with me? Mm. And they like, oh man, I don't know about that. Because I don't know if they think I'm gonna do some gangster shit to them or something like that. But
put me in the room with them.
But it's not like that. I'm like, nah, I really don't want them to end up just keep, doing the wrong thing. Right. I really want them to see that I want them to do better.
Right.
I mean, but don't get me wrong. I mean, if if I have to do what I got to do to protect myself, I'm going to do that. But I'm going to try my best to try to help.
Salvage.
Yeah, and anybody. I don't care. I don't care what color, gender, whatever. If I can help you, I'm gonna try my best to help you. But if I have to go upside your head because you're trying to come at me, I'm gonna do that. I'm old school like that. That's how I was raised. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Now I got a question. Like, we seen with the YSL Gunner situation, they introduced this thing called an Alford plea. What is that? And is that what it was called, an Alford plea? Alford plea, right? Where apparently the plea doesn't hurt the defendant in his case,
right?
But they said, "Hey, are you part of a gang?" He said, "Yes." Is YSL a gang? Yeah.
Right.
Do you consider that snitching, or because there's been it's been up in the air?
I don't think that's snitching because we already know what you are. I mean, and if you're just giving information to try to help the community, is it really snitching because you're not really calling one specific person out? You're just telling what your position is.
True.
You know,
but if it works. And if you have an open case with multiple people that's involved in this case,
right?
If they use that plea, if it hurts the other person's case, now Alfred plea saying, "Hey, I'm not guilty. I'm not saying I'm guilty, but they're saying they're guilty, but it's like, well, I don't want to take it to court. I'm just, I'm in trouble, and hey, I'm gonna just throw my hands up and just give me a deal." It might hurt someone else's case.
It might. I mean, but it's the game they're playing.
Damn,
that's the bottom line. I mean, You playing a game, and part of the reason why some of these people like playing a game is because they like getting away with stuff with society. They got a rebellious personality.
It's crazy because I always remember back in the 70s and 80s and 60s, they used to have something called witness protection. So when you snitch, you go on witness protection. Right. I don't think social media allows witness protection to still like niggas.
Hey, can you give us the update? Because honestly, like what really threw me off, right, was the Meg Thee Stallion case. Mm-hmm. It threw me off because like social media really, I think, played a part in what we thought the trial was about.
Right.
None of the charges were like the charges that he actually was charged with. We didn't really know what they were. So when the guilty shit happened, everybody was like, "Huh?" But then we actually looked at the charge and it was like, "Oh yeah, I mean, he did that."
And see, that's the thing that happens a lot. And especially we as Black people, we jump on things sometimes not knowing really what's going on.
Oh yeah.
And the fact is, if you're breaking the law and it gets to a point where the system is really wanting you to stop, I mean, like the right people have gotten a hold to it. Even we don't know what's going on sometimes. Sometimes it's over a city police officer's head.
Right.
I mean, you have to be really high up to know what's going on. Like when that stuff starts getting federal, if you know if the feds have contacted you, they've already got you.
They already know. They know more than you know about your damn self.
Yeah, and I'm even talking about with police officers. There's police officers that have
federal investigations. Yeah,
federal investigations. And once the feds have contacted those officers, they know they're done.
Yeah, they're asking you questions they already have the answer to.
Yeah,
and just see where you're gonna go with it.
So what is the best way? Like if somebody is on a Fed case, like what do you say? Just go ahead and cooperate.
Just go ahead and cooperate.
It's a plea deal?
Or go to prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I seen somebody say taking a plea deal is snitching. Because they were basically saying that you're burying yourself to hurt somebody else.
No,
it is.
Not if it's your own case.
Yeah,
if it's your own case.
Yeah, if it's your own case, you're just saying, like, for example, if you broke into 50 houses.
Right.
And they cannot figure out how to clear these cases they only caught you with the merchandise in one or two houses.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we'll cut this down, but you got to show us every house you broke it into. But we'll cut the charges. We'll cut the sentence down if you do that.
Right.
So it's a plea deal.
It's a plea deal.
Yeah, and that happens a lot.
So and if it's you and one other guy and he's like, man, I'm not guilty. And you're saying, yeah, I'll take the plea deal. It really fucks him up. Like they might use it.
Depends. It depends on the evidence they have on him. It really does, because technically you got to go by the Constitution. Did you get some evidence on him? Do you have him on film? You got fingerprints? You got any DNA evidence that he was involved? I mean, like there's a lot to this, and the majority of the time, most criminals aren't nowhere near as smart as the system. Yeah.
So can a criminal outsmart the system, or he maybe could get away one or two times, but overall, you will get...
There have been some extremely intelligent people that have outsmarted the system, but eventually it catches up with them.
So when I always hear about the 99% conviction rate, there's that 1% that did beat it, and everybody always goes back to the Waco gang. It was like 170 bikers, and nobody said nothing. How were they able to beat that RICO case?
Nobody said nothing.
Nobody said nothing.
So basically silence is gold.
Yeah, but you know what? That situation right there, keep living. Keep living. Because the thing is, if it's kind of like what where you think that everything's okay, there's something missing somewhere. And what I mean by that is, if whoever's upset about who got in that situation, is going to try to get whoever they want to get, and if they get who they want revenge on or whatever, the whole thing is going to come back around some kind of way.
Yeah, universe always seem to find a way to correct itself.
Yep,
some kind of way.
And that's what I'm saying. It's just best to just come up with something that's legal and just stick with it.
Stick with it.
It's the bottom line. That's one of the things I tell the guys in the hood. Like, man, either you're gonna be looking out for us or you're gonna be looking for the jackals to get you.
Right.
I mean, who wants to live like that? You might as well put your energy into just trying to start your own business or go to school and find something to specialize in or something like that, trade school or something. I don't know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So let's circle back to the Memphis situation. I want your thoughts, and this is from an officer's perspective who has 20 years in giving his blood, sweat, and tears and risked his life to protect his own. And like you said, we're in a situation where we should police our own.
Right.
Black community should see black officers.
Right.
White community should see white officers. Mexican community should Mexican officers.
Well,
and
I wouldn't say that.
You get to a Mexican house and you don't speak Mexican or Spanish. It's a situation, and you would want to be able to diffuse the situation by saying, "Let me get my Spanish or my Latino brother to come help." So we should technically, in a sense, be having our own represent our own in a scenario. Some white officers don't understand what a nagging wife might. Right. A nagging black woman might mean to a black man, and he might be like, "Hey, I don't know." There's a gender. I mean, there's a cultural difference.
Yeah. However, I think we got to get away from that. And the reason why is it's about mindset. You might have someone you said your background's Nigerian, right?
Yes.
So you're dark.
Yes.
But you might have someone as dark as you, but he has a very European mindset because that's what he grew up around. That's what he's from. That's what he relates to. And his mindset is like, I don't fuck with y'all.
Right,
you know what I mean?
I see what you mean.
So, and then you might have someone that's white, but his mindset is more along the lines of what we grew up around. Right. And he's a police officer.
Right.
So you want to allow people with the right mindsets to be able to be in environments where they're helping with the communities, even with policing, because I know some officers right now, if they came in this room and I told you they were married to black women, like real black women,
right,
you'd be like, no way. And I'd be like, yeah, wait.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's stay with that then. Instead of putting a skin color to it, should police departments incentivize where people from a certain neighborhood or area become a police in their own area?
That's what I believe.
Okay.
I think that America has to get to a point where they're embracing all the culture, especially Black America. It has not been embraced by white America, to me, the way it should be. Like Martin Luther King's holiday, Martin Luther King, Juneteenth or whatever, it should be just as big as St. Patrick's Day. Because the reality of it is African Americans, hear what I'm saying, influence the world. We influence the world. We don't just influence America. Our influence is worldwide. I've been to Italy, and when I went over there, I was tripping because they were all sagging and trying to be like the hip hop culture over here. Couldn't even speak English, but they understood that vibe, that swag. They were trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? So we enrich society as well, but is it embraced? And if it was embraced more, would we have some of the situations that we're about to discuss right now? I mean, man, the bottom line is, like I was telling you when we didn't start nipping evil in the bud. Evil don't have a race.
Right.
Evil don't have a gender. Yeah. It doesn't have a sexual orientation. Evil is just evil. And so is righteousness. So is righteousness. It doesn't have a preference. But once it gets in you, it's going to react how it's going to react. And that's what I feel happened with these officers. They allowed a certain culture to inundate them, and it came out. Right. And it's sad that it did.
Yeah, and I was actually going to touch on that, like white officers versus black officers, how they deal with the black man. Is there a difference? Do you see
how they deal with what now?
Well, like let's say there's like you see a black man being pulled over. Is there a difference that you see how a white officer versus a black officer treats a black man?
I really don't see a difference. But like I was saying earlier, the difference that I see when I know those officers personally, it's their background. On how they treat a black man. But then I start realizing this ain't about how they treat a black man. It's about how they treat a person.
Right.
Yeah. How they treat another human. I can give you guys some examples where I've been dealt with people on the department administratively where I had to take a step back and say, wait a minute, is this person a racist or is this person just a butthole?
Right.
And when you start hearing the stories about that person's personality from other officers, from other backgrounds, you realize, he's just a butthole, or she's just a butthole, and they take pride in it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So do you think we throw around that racist word way too fast?
Yes. And me being a person that's 51 years old, from the South, seeing the things that my father and grandparents have went through where it was real racism simply because of the color of their skin, I think that we throw that word around way too much. We cry wolf. And I think that needs to stop.
Well, is it the word or is it should? Because technically what I'm seeing is stereotyping.
Yeah.
If a white officer grows up and goes to a white Ivy League college, works, or let's say he's in a white neighborhood and then he comes to become a police officer, he's sent to the hood to where it's people of, let's say, lesser standards than what he's been around. And it doesn't matter if it's black or whatever, but if it is black, I believe he taps into what he sees in movies, what he sees in stereotypes of what stories he's heard. Like, I'm going to approach this with more extreme caution versus, because just not even, I've never been in a scenario, but I'm basically going off what I've heard, what I feel, and what I may figure may happen because of a stereotype.
So you're basically, you're talking about biases that are created by our society. Our society does create biases. We all have them. And we need to be conscious of our biases, especially when it comes to policing, because it's such a volatile type situation, when you're dealing with a police officer.
Right.
So I do believe that I personally believe, this is my opinion. It's not the opinion of the Dallas Police Department, but this is my opinion. I believe that sometimes people do come into the profession with biases based off of what they've seen in cinema and what their families have told them.
Because I'll be honest, let's just keep it real, right? If somebody was to say, hey, we want to go to the club, right? And they say, hey, we're going to go to like Addison. You might not think anything of it, but they say, hey man, the party's over here in the Cliff or something, like, you might be like,
Yeah.
So how could an officer, especially that doesn't know our race, how could they not have some level of fear in them prior to the situation? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's we got to keep it real. I mean, people talk about keeping it real.
Yeah.
Look at the murder rate in Oak Cliff.
Yeah.
Look at the murder rate in Addison.
Yeah.
Some facts.
It's a little different.
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
I won't die. I'm not going to Oak Cliff. You know what I mean? Like, so it's you got to look at the numbers sometimes. You just got to look at it for what it is. Stop throwing race at it. Right. You know what I mean? Right. It's the bottom line.
Yeah. All right. So January 27th, 2023, we see the body cam footage has come out of the situation in Memphis. And again, from your expertise, what do you think? What do you see happening? And what, of course, it's a traffic stop, but what do you see probably is done right up until a point where it goes left? Like, what are you seeing from a police standpoint of what's happening on film?
It's hard for me to, at this point, to think about anything that was right with that. Let's just talk about what was wrong.
Yeah, let's just go.
Let's just go there. The bottom line is nobody was their brother's keeper in that whole situation. Yeah. Nobody.
And for those who don't know, we break down the situation because there's some people that, like me, wasn't on the internet, they didn't see it. What was the situation? Can you spell it?
I'm not even sure why the young man got pulled over, but he was pulled over and he was pulled out of his car. And once he was pulled out of his car, it became violent, where they were trying to use pain compliance to get him to comply, put his hands behind his back so they can handcuff him and take him to jail for whatever reason. I'm not even sure why they was trying to take him to jail. The fact is, it was too hard for me to watch. I haven't even watched all the videos. It was too hard to watch. Once I saw it to a certain point, I was like, I can't watch this. This is horrible.
Let's just start right there as far as resisting arrest, where you don't comply to put your hands behind your back. Right. I've seen police officers take that as almost a violent threat. Right. And, why aren't you putting your hands behind your back? Right. Now I have to use force to put behind your back. But as a police officer, you're taught to use, to rectify the situation with as much force as needed to, go. But we see 5 officers.
Right.
I feel like it's excessive for one person, but I understand the need. Mace is used. Physical hands are used. Right. Like you said, you haven't seen the whole video, but can you explain what you did see? Because from what I saw I saw a man maced. Mm-hmm. Yep. I saw an officer while he was down kick him in his face.
I saw
multiple times.
I saw him being punched in the face.
I saw him while he was handcuffed.
Right.
I saw physical punches being thrown to his face where he's defenseless. Right. And I seen other officers hold him up to make sure that it's a line on physical fight. I don't know what blow killed him, me personally, but I did see the pictures that was in the hospital of the physical damage he had to him.
I seen him, he was being hit with a baton also. I saw that too.
So I didn't see that.
Yeah. I saw that. I saw him being kicked, like soccer ball kicked in the head. It was crazy. And like I said, I don't understand. I'm not a member of the Memphis Police Department. You know what I mean? But I don't understand how it got to that point where they felt like they had to do all that.
So if an assailant says, if he resists arrest, and this is just, you're not saying you've been in a situation, but
I've been in that situation.
Okay, if he resists arrest and he won't put his hands behind his back, and he yells out something like, "Nigga, N-word, I'll kill you."
The suspect?
The suspect. I will kill you. Wait till I get up. I'll kill you. Would your mindset be like, I have to put him down, I have to call backup, and we have to...
Yeah, well, before we get to that point, I'm already going to call backup. I mean, the thing is, I'm at work. And I've learned to keep my mind in that place where I'm working. And if that person is on some drugs or something and they are having a bad day, whatever it may be, hey, I'm gonna try to get you to comply with all the tactics that I have. If there's other officers involved, I personally am my brother's keeper. That means that I've had brothers that were high on wet. And I'm like, there is
unstoppable. Nothing faces them.
The thing is, and I got to thank this Hispanic guy that was at the gym. He said it because I'm like, this taser's not working. Nothing's working. And so I gave him a couple.
He's went home?
Yeah, I gave him a couple strikes trying to get him to put his hands behind his back. But it wasn't like crazy strikes. It was just like trying to get him to because the thing is, kids were coming in. So I was like, this guy's high on wet. I don't know if he's gonna hurt one of these kids. So the Hispanic guy says, nothing's gonna hurt him. You've tried everything. And it clicked. He was like, man, he's right. So what we did was, and it was citizens that helped too. Everybody got a limb. I put the handcuff on his arm, got it behind his back. Somebody handed me his other arm, got him handcuffed, hurry up and got him to the hospital. Not because we did any damage to him physically by punching him or anything like that, but I knew he was high on something to the point where this dude is super strong. He has something in his system that might kill him. So I need to get him to the hospital. Right. Get him to the hospital. He had all kind of stuff in his system. But we as police officers, we experienced that a lot. And you got to be very careful about how you handle that situation, because if the person dies, you are under investigation for homicide.
Yeah, no matter what.
No matter what. Now, the situation in Memphis, I don't know what they were doing. I don't know. I mean, but it looked like they just were not looking out for each other, wasn't looking out for him. It just went totally unprofessional. It went straight street. That's what it seemed. Straight street.
So yeah. I'm curious, what are y'all trained to do when a suspect is not obeying, is resisting, and you get, let's say you get them on the ground, and now let's say there's 1, 2, maybe even 3 officers. What is a training? Like, is there a step process? Like, because I see Mace.
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting kicked. I mean, it's like a lot going on, man. Batons are pulled out.
If nothing is, you don't, I hate using Mace because it's going to get on everybody. I don't like using it.
As we saw, the cops
they were coughing and stuff. If the taser's not working, the bottom line, everybody's going to have to do something like what I said. I mean, and that's part of training too. If someone's resisting to the point where you're just having trouble getting them in handcuffs, they had enough officers there for everybody to take a limb. You take this arm, I take that arm, you take this leg, and you just get the person under control, because you shouldn't want to kill the person or maim the person or anything like that. It wasn't anything that serious where the guy raped a child or even killed somebody or anything. I think it was just a traffic stop.
Yeah, well, we know it's a traffic.
Right.
There's a lot to that. Let me finish with this real quick.
Yeah.
They could have, when he took off running, I did see him run.
Yes. Right. And they were shooting.
Me personally? Oh, you running? I got all your information and I didn't told you put your hands behind your back. See you. I'm gonna stack these charges on you. Evading, resisting, and whatever the charge was, that's all you have to do. We'll get you later. You ain't gonna outrun this pen.
Right.
Yeah, it's simple. They ruined their lives and took his life over really nothing.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. That's how I feel about that. That's just me.
If you were to guess, like, what was in their mindset to even get to that point, how does it get to that point, do you think?
I think that some people get to a place where they we want to be known as the crew that you don't mess with. It's the same mentality that brothers have on the street that's doing street game. Right. You know what I mean? I want you to know that you ain't gonna disrespect me. And you're gonna know when you hear this name, it strikes fear in you to, right, not to mess with me.
Right.
I personally think maybe it was something like that with that group of guys. They were on some BS, but whatever it was, man, you went from us trying to deter police officers from acting like that and behaving that way to just throwing it all out the window, right, by what they did. I mean, it was like I said, it's so bad I can't even watch the whole thing.
When you first heard about this situation, I want you to be 1,000% honest. Did you think it was black officers that did it? Because when I heard it, I immediately just lost. These white officers going crazy.
And then when I saw the pictures of them, I was like,
wow.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing I thought. I was thinking, well, he had to be high on wet, and fighting like a beast for them to take it this far. Yeah, he must have been trying to take somebody's gun or something and just kept coming. And maybe he died because of what was in his system. But when I saw it, I was just disappointed, disgusted. I was lost for words.
The crazy part is this might be one of the worst ones we've seen, right?
Because he died.
Not only did he die, but it was 5 officers, right, involved in it. But I don't see the outrage like I see for when a white officer kills.
Yeah, which brings me to a different point. That brings me to the point of, if Black lives matter, they need to matter all the time. People don't like hearing that, but I'm going to say it. I know your boy says that, but I say it too before I even ever heard that guy. Because look at what it's done. We have to always value life, period. We should always value life, period. Doesn't matter whose life it is. But to get a group of Black officers that were sworn to protect and serve the community to do what brothers on the street are doing every day to each other, I mean, come on. I mean, that's so disappointing.
So I got to ask you, do you feel, and you can speak to yourself or other officers you see, that it was pent up aggression, and do police officers have pent up aggression that
didn't look like pent up aggression to me. That looked like ego.
So, you said a word and you made a post to your Facebook, and we'll send everybody to your Facebook as well.
Right.
You said you noticed, you see evil.
Yeah.
And for what you saw, that was evil.
That was evil.
I will say this. I don't know if their intentions were to kill that man, but he died based on their actions.
Right.
All 5 officers, and we talked about this when we first started, was none of them stopped the other.
They were not their brother's keeper?
They were not their brother's keeper.
Even the guy that didn't comply to the black officers, he was not his brother's keepers. He could have said, I'm going to go ahead and comply. These are 5, or is it 6? I can't remember.
It was 5. At least 5.
It was at least 5 black officers. Let me just go ahead and comply, because this could be worse, but it got worse. You know what I mean? Let me just go ahead and comply. Let me put my hands behind my back and everything, and then we'll handle it later. If I need to sue the department or complain about these guys, I'll do it. But let me go ahead and comply.
That's a rational man thinking.
Right.
He could have mental illness or some type of mental illness to where that's not what I'm doing. I feel like I'm being attacked.
Right.
And I will not.
And I'm scared. At some point, I gotta admit, if I'm getting beat and I don't see a way out, and I see a opening to run, I mean,
I'm running for my life.
A lot of officers might not like me saying this right now, but man, I mean, he was getting his hat handed to him. I mean, like I could understand why he ran. I mean, but I feel he should have complied first, but you're 100% correct. I don't know what his mind state is. I don't know if he was high on something. I don't know if he's suffering from some sort of mental illness. I don't know if he's in crisis. Like I said, I got a son that I deal with that gets into crisis often.
Right.
And if he's not on his medication, he's difficult, very difficult to deal with.
Right.
You know, and he wasn't always like that, but he went off to college. I'm trying to protect him from the hood. He got with the CEOs of companies who could afford all the drugs, and I wasn't thinking about that. Did some sort of drug, sent him straight into psychosis. It's my son. You know, so this, like I said, evil, it don't care. Evil's just gonna get in where it fits in, and then it's gonna do its thing. And that's exactly what I feel like evil did with this whole situation in Memphis. I feel like evil just said, my time to shine, and it jumped in and did its thing.
Yeah. I think I interrupting the whole broadcast. Do operators ever worry about, like, when you see these brutal images of these people getting beat, at some point they might start getting on the defense and be they might act out of character, and maybe now they're shooting at the cops.
I've been saying it for years. Yeah. I'm like, how long you think people gonna put up with being oppressed and abused? They're gonna start fighting back at some point. Yeah, we worry about it. And now I know how my people think. Right. So for it to be black officers to do what they did, I'm like, man, y'all didn't open up some.
They opened up, they opened up a little work, because I feel like as a black man, we feel like, all right, it's a black officer. He gonna feel me somewhat.
But it goes back to statistics. Yeah. Crimes are normally crimes of comfort, and that's another thing that people don't understand. Like, white people normally kill white people. Right. Asians kill Asians. Gays kill gays. Black people kill black people.
Yes. Crimes
are normally crimes of comfort. They're not like, oh, I ain't gonna mess with this person because they black. I'm gonna go mess with white people. It don't work that way. Our psyche does not work that way. And we don't take the time out to really study these things. We just react off what we're told, and then we go with it, and then we act tribal. Right. And that's a big problem in our society. We need to quit that. We jump on the Democrat side because we feel like it's what our parents been our whole life. And we end up not even supporting our own agenda. Right. I'm not going into politics. I'm just saying, I'm just saying what we do.
That's what we do.
Sometimes everybody's telling us this person's a racist, but what's making them a racist?
Right.
I mean, really, like you just jumping on the bandwagon with something. We got to stop doing that. We got to start looking at facts.
Yeah, no, it's normally environmental, or like you said, handed down from family. So I have to ask, what do you feel, you being a black police officer, and there probably now is a distrust in the community for police officers. We're seeing the celebrities now come out and reposting this video and, condoning, of course, police officers once again. And it's not, of course, Caucasian police officers. Now they're saying, just blacks. Yeah. So what do you say to those that, what's about to happen. You know what they're about to say about policing again. Yeah, but they kind of put everybody in a bunch. Like this is normal.
The bottom line is we're always going to have bad apples in every bunch. Doesn't matter what area of professionalism we're talking about. Whatever, pick one. It's going to be bad apples in that bunch. But one thing that we don't want is for our communities to become lawless. Because people that have a predator mindset, they want police departments to fail. And we don't want that. Right. Yeah, we really don't want that. I mean, so I hope that the communities, all communities can understand that it was some bad apples that got exposed. And unfortunately, someone lost their life behind it. Well, all 6 of them lost their life because ain't no coming back from this.
It's a dub.
Yeah, they and unfortunately, like I was telling you earlier, if all 6 of those are men, it's going to be 6 black men out of 6 families. Yeah. How damaging is that going to be? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, there's the other side of the coin. Do you think that these black officers will be punished as harshly? Or do you think they're going to be punished harshly versus how, we see the white officer, it seems like they get the slap on the wrist?
Man,
it seems like they might take them through the ringer.
Here's the problem with that.
And I know it's wrong to compare and contrast, but
don't get me wrong. I'm thinking about it because I feel like sometimes black officers get punished administratively harder than our counterparts.
For sure.
At work. However, with this situation,
this was egregious.
You knew better.
Yeah, this is bad.
So I can't really say it's a racial thing because look at what we just went through, and then you got your body cam on. I mean, I'm not trying to tell them to hide that.
Yeah, but God damn,
you went ham.
You didn't even try to,
Like,
oh man.
You get what I'm saying.
Hey, honestly, you as a black man.
It's not funny. I'm just saying.
It's wild. Like,
it's crazy to see that. Like, what the hell?
So when you came into work the next day, did you just look at the other black officers like, man?
I ain't been to work since it happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I didn't even know.
Is that by purpose or?
No, it's not by purpose.
You just been off.
Shit, I've been trying to relax.
Yeah. He's been
listening. Yeah. And then I see this, and I'm like, oh man, you put a big old target on me now.
Right after.
Thanks, Memphis.
So Memphis, they're shutting down highways.
Yeah.
I see New York. They're marching in New York, breaking police cars. But I don't know if you've seen it. But they're damaging police cars, and it's that buildup of the anarchy you're talking about.
Yeah.
What do you say to those that do want to go out there, protest, and probably turn violent with the protests?
What you protesting? Those brothers are gonna get life in prison, probably. I mean, I don't know.
You say probably, but Rodney King happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
And those guys got off.
Yeah, but Rodney King happened. You've had so many examples throughout history why not to do or behave like that, and you did it. Yeah. So with that being said, I don't think they're gonna have a light sentence for what they did. And I can't say if the sentence is gonna be harsher because they're black or because they had history on knowing what not to do. I don't know. I mean, but it's not going to be good.
Is there one officer you feel is more responsible than the other? Just from what you've seen, do you feel like one person, anything you saw that was more extensive than the others, like maybe the guy who was holding him up versus the guy who actually kicked him in the face?
I think they all those guys had been on the department, from what I hear, since 2017. They were not rookies.
Yeah,
at some point, somebody could have said, "Hey, chill. No, we ain't doing this."
Yeah,
like even if they were being selfish about it, saying, you ain't messing my pension up. I ain't going to prison. They could have said anything. Like, nah, we not doing this. I mean, it just wasn't necessary. You know what I mean?
I've seen an officer throw a punch before and hit a guy in the face. To put him down. Like this guy, he's very violent. He was in a violent situation. Yeah. Like we said, I don't know Mr. Tyrese's past or what they saw, but of course they were attempting to put him down. Even if it's one punch thrown and that punch caused a man to hit his head on the concrete and he passed away from that.
Well,
it wasn't intentional to kill the man, but I was intending to put him down.
Right.
Do you look at that situation differently if a situation was like that to happen?
Yeah, because your intentions is to stop. If someone were to come in, if I wasn't here, somebody come in here and try to rob y'all right now, and they don't see him, and he come out of the shadows and drop the dude, then y'all start stomping him, and y'all got video, and in here somewhere, and the video is showing you guys stomping him to death once the threat is down, then you're teetering on.
Is it really self-defense?
Yeah, you're teetering on getting in trouble. I'm not saying that you would, but that's a real gray area. We're taught to stop the threat.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. Actually, if you got any of y'all got your concealed carry?
We all gonna say yes.
You do? Yeah. When you took the class, what they tell you? Stop the threat, and that's it.
See, we're all gonna say come back, nigga.
How you not paying attention, nigga?
Oh, you gonna put me on the spider?
Okay.
I just wanted my license.
I'm gonna get arrested, nigga.
I bought my license. So I want to ask you this thing because this is a situation that's going on right now.
Yeah.
We see a young man come into a store to rob it.
Oh, I saw that.
He did rob it. He did rob it. He turns out he had a fake gun.
Yeah.
Oh, a Caucasian man. Well, let's not put color into it.
Yeah.
All right. A young black kid got shot by a Caucasian man, older Caucasian man, who was a patron in the restaurant.
Right.
Who, of course, as the man was leaving, shot him, I believe, 4 times. And then as the man fell to the ground,
shot him 4 more times.
Shot him 4 more times while he was on his back.
Here's
and then left the scene.
Here's the issue with that. We see all these movies and we see TV and all this blood come out when people get shot and all that. That's not how it works unless you get shot in the head or unless you get shot with something really big, like a rifle round or something like that. So when like I said earlier, your goal is to stop the threat when someone is trying to assault you or whatever. So the thing about that situation is the guy shot him 4 times to make him drop.
Right.
If he was still holding the gun, he could have turned around and shot the guy when he went to go grab him to get everybody's property back. He could have turned around, shot him in the face or something.
Right.
So to walk up on him and shoot him 4 more times, think about it. I mean, if it was your grandmother, mother, or something like that, and you're trying to stop the threat and you don't know, like...
Yeah, you don't know what he has. He could have his...
How many times did Tupac get shot and lived the first time? You know what I mean?
So, wait.
A lot of people getting shot 9 times and lived.
Yeah, it's people that's actually... I got a buddy that got shot in the head and the bullet rang around his head. And
wow.
He's fine.
Moving around today?
Oh, he's good. He working, he's good. You wouldn't even know he got shot.
Oh, man. Super.
Yeah.
Super drug.
Yeah, nah.
He wasn't even high or nothing. It's just how the bullet
Where's
hit
his
him.
Bible at? Because I need that same copy. I need that same copy.
He go to church? That boy be like somebody.
Yeah.
Man. So I have to ask then, and this just teach me the law. A place is getting robbed, Burger King. Mm-hmm. A man robs it successfully and is on his way out the door. I have the right to gun him down.
Yes.
How far can he get outside the door? How can I run? Can I chase him down the street? Like how much access do I have to gun him down to stop?
I wouldn't chase him down the street, but if he's you don't know a person's mindset. If a person comes into the Burger King and they robbing you, and then they're walking out the door and you got your gun, you could get that. I'm gonna say it. I mean, I feel comfortable saying you could get that shot off because he could turn around and say, "Screw it."
Yeah, everybody.
Start shooting everybody.
He's still a threat.
Yeah.
So, but if he gets out the door
and he's gone,
but he's still in sight. The door opens. Boom. He's 10 yards in front of the door.
You could give him commands.
He's still a threat. I'm assuming.
I would say you could give him commands at that point once he's out the door and say, get on the ground, or whatever the case may be. And if he turns around like aggressively, like he's about to be a threat again,
right?
You can shoot him.
That's tough to make them type of decisions.
But that's the kind of decisions. See, that's the thing. That's the kind of decisions that we have to make every day.
Right.
It's crazy.
In a split second.
It's crazy because after the fact, they treated like they were fine-tooth comb. What was your mindset?
Right.
How many, were you working overtime? Were you tired?
Yeah.
And it's like crazy because like, no, in the moment, my thought process is preserving life.
Right. Remember when I told you I caught the boys that stole my truck? Right. I told you that story, right? Want me to tell the story?
Yeah, tell it.
Okay, I'm gonna tell that story.
Yeah, I ain't heard.
My truck got stolen from Northpark Mall here in Dallas. And
so you can't paint the picture. You come out with the bags like you just got some fly shit.
I went to dinner. Come out.
Wait, you went to dinner with a girl?
Family.
Oh, okay. So you went with family.
Yeah.
You come out with the family.
Yeah, come
and
out
the
with the
shit
family.
is just gone.
And not only my truck was gone. My truck's a Silverado. It was like 3 other ones gone. They came and just cleaned up. They went shopping.
They stole the whole side, the left side. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is like the kids saying like, Daddy?
No, it wasn't. My kids are grown. No, it wasn't like that. It was older family. So I was like, man, my truck is gone. And then this Hispanic guy, he was like, your truck gone too?
Oh, so you got the trouble bond right there.
Yeah, so I was like, damn, man. So I'm fuming. I'm calling OnStar. They giving me a hard time. And I was cursing them out because they giving me such a hard time to start tracking the car. So I called one of my buddies. And it's a certain kind of system that I'm not gonna mention. Wait.
So the police don't call the police?
Right.
You call your homie.
No. My bad.
Hey.
You're right. Hold on. Yeah, you're right. I did call the police first.
Okay.
And I was like, it's me. Like, hey, send somebody quick.
Yeah. Hey, I know that bullshit y'all be doing. No. Put Johnny on that one.
Stop eating.
How quickly did the police pull up? How quickly did the police pull up for the police?
Pretty fast.
Yeah.
Like,
then they get the other line. No, this me.
Yeah.
Pull up, nigga.
Beat me down, Steph.
So the officers, that's right, I did call the police. The officers came, and even OnStar was giving the officers a hard time about tracking the car. So I called a buddy of mine, and he put my license plate in this certain system that hits all around the city. That's what I'm telling y'all, man. You just not gonna outsmart the police.
Yeah, if they want you, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
If they want you, it's over with. Yeah.
So what happened was, 2 days later, they say, hey, we got a hit on your truck. And I said, where is it? And they told me, Oak Cliff. And so
that nigga stole this shit from North Dallas.
I was like, all right. So I get with my brother, and he's not police, but he got a gun on him. You know, I got my gun. We go over there. I actually go ahead and call on-duty element to come and recover my truck. He's recovering my truck, taking it out of the system, doing a report, because it was there. It was there where they said it was. That same officer, Hispanic guy, walks up. My truck is over here too. I'm recovering my truck. I'm like, damn. And
so they hit 2 officers' trucks?
No. It was just a citizen.
Okay.
So
but his truck is there. Okay.
So the guy was like, Bankston, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good, man. You can go handle it. I kind of wanted him to leave, to be honest.
Right.
And he was like, all right, I'm gonna go around here and recover his truck for him. So we're parked back away from the truck, just watching the truck. I'm sitting there like fuming because they didn't tore my wires out and stuff like that, And what's crazy is they didn't even know my guns was up under the seat. I had my gun and my bulletproof vest up under the seat. So thank God, all this stuff was still in there.
Oh, wow.
And so while we sitting there, this Jeep, y'all younger than me, man. Y'all know these cars, but it's those that top of the line Jeep that's fast.
Range Rover, the Rover?
No, right? A Jeep. The Jeep.
The Mercedes.
No, not that.
Not the.
What you call it?
I got a Rubicon.
No, it's some kind of Jeep that's.
Nah, he's talking about the luxury Jeep, right? The one everybody gets. The Mercedes Jeep.
The brand Jeep, not Mercedes.
Oh, it's Jeep. Oh, I don't know.
It's like something Hawk or something like that.
Not Trackhawk. That's
Trackhawk.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it's called, Trackhawk. Yeah. So that pulls in, and this apartment complex was sketchy. Like, it didn't fit. You know what I mean?
It don't fit.
And my brother-in-law said, that's them. And I look, and I'm like, I bet you that is them. They come past us, they back in next to my truck. And I'm like, if they get out of that truck and open my door, pull and block them in, and we're gonna handle this.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did. he got out my truck, put on some gloves, put a mask on, opened my truck door. It was getting in, and we pulled in front of him. I jumped out, get on the ground. I'm gonna say that because we on video.
Yeah, for sure.
Get on the ground. And so he gets on the ground or whatever, and he's trying to act like he don't speak English. I said, I bet you speak this. You better get on the ground. Like, you know, get on the ground. I was saying some other stuff. Yeah. So he gets on the ground. I'm calling because my radio that was in the truck was dead. And I think that was one of the things that scared him, that my body mic radio was in the truck and it was still on. Yeah. So they probably heard the dispatcher talking when they were driving my truck around. It probably scared them. So it was dead. So I couldn't call the officer back like that. So I had to call 911 again. So I'm on the phone with 911 and I'm looking up, waiting for officers to come, you know, lights and sirens to get over there to arrest them. Because there was a passenger there too. My brother got him and I got the driver. Yeah. Well, when they come into the parking lot, lights and sirens, I look down, oh boy, turning. And when he's turning, I see a magazine pop out, like an extended mag. Woo. I'm like, oh, you know, so I kick him. Like, I don't shoot him, nothing. I could have killed him. Yeah. I just kicked him. And I was like, what are you doing? You know, and it kind of put him out for a second. And I hurried up and grabbed the gun. He had a Glock.
He was about to let it go?
45 with an extended mag in it. So I pull it out and I show it to the sergeant. Like, that's why I did that. I wasn't trying to abuse him. He was going for his gun. Wow. So I put the gun down on the truck. You know, the sergeant throw me some handcuffs. I handcuff him. And I stand him up. I'm like, man, what was you thinking? And he just puts his head down, you know, and I arrested him.
So he really went for the kill shot? He was
going for his mag. I mean, he was going for the gun. But it was an extended mag, and that's how I saw it. You know, I didn't want to, because I wasn't in uniform or nothing, so I wasn't trying to touch him.
Okay, so he didn't even know you was an officer like that.
He knew I was an officer because I told him, you know, I showed him my badge.
Right.
But
that's crazy.
He was going for it, man.
How many split decision moments have you had to deal with like that?
A lot of them.
That's crazy.
But I grew up in Kansas City. Right. I grew up in Kansas City, man, when them dudes throw one-hitter quitters, you know? And I saw a lot of people get, one of the things that bothered me about police officers when I was growing up, I saw a guy get beat to death and the police watched. This dude got kicked up a hill. He was getting beat like worse than what we saw on that video, and they were kicking him, and he was going up the hill. And I'm like, damn, are they gonna stop that? And they just stood around and watched. But it was us on us. You know what I mean? And he died, and I was like, I'm not getting hit with no one-hitter quitter and getting stomped on the ground. It made me have a phobia of getting hit like that and dropped. I started boxing and everything after that. I was like, nah, that ain't gonna happen. Yeah.
Crazy. Man, we also seen a wild situation where a lady was getting arrested and she offered sexual favors to get out of the ticket. Like, do those type of things happen for real? Is that
yeah. We've had officers fired because of that.
Oh, they took the advance.
Oh, they took it. They took that offer.
I'm sure before body cams.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of wild stuff went down.
Before body cam, if you just let me go, I will rock your world.
Right. Yeah. I don't know why people think police officers are different than everybody else. We have the same problems. We
my wife ain't wifing.
We get tempted the same way. All that. Yeah.
Oh man.
Nah, because I ain't gonna lie, because like we be wilding on officers that are fine. Like when there's a fine officer, man, I'm gonna come arrest me. We be saying wild shit. Oh, yeah, What's the wildest shit a girl ever said to you while in officer uniform?
Oh, this is real life street sauce. I can say this, right?
Say it. Real life street sauce.
She came up to me and said, "Who's sucking your dick tonight?" I was like,
man, listen.
I was like, oh man. I walked away.
You ever had to?
And she was fine too.
Oh, you ever had the skin suck?
Oh, you know what? It was. You know, I'm gonna tell you. It was at. I was doing security for Dion. It was at one of his white linen parties. When Deion Sanders was here. Yeah.
Oh man.
And she walked up to me and said that. Man, I was in uniform. I was like,
oh damn. Now, what if you seen your coworker, your co-officer come out the bathroom smiling like a motherfucker?
I'm like, good on you. Yeah,
listen.
Yeah,
you win some, you lose some.
Now you gotta keep it being. I know you to put the cop uniform on one of you.
Nah,
I know you to put the cop.
Man.
At least pull the badge out.
You talking about have I ever done it with my uniform on?
Yeah.
At home, yeah.
Is it at home?
Yeah.
At home?
Yeah.
At home?
Yeah, at home.
That nigga just performing back here. Yeah, pull the badge out on him.
You are under arrest, man.
Yeah.
Do y'all get to take y'all's handcuffs home?
Oh yeah, we take everything home. Except everybody don't take a car home.
Okay.
But yeah, I got.
That's why I got
quite a few guns.
10 points up for police officers, man. Y'all listen, man.
Yeah.
What's the biggest misconception about police officers?
That's what I was just saying, that people think that we're different from, and our problems are different. Our problems are all the same, man. I got a brother that's addicted to meth. I mean, hurts me to my heart. You know what I mean? I don't. It's a struggle because he's always trying to get money from my mom and stuff like that if he's not in jail.
Yeah.
You know, I've had people killed in my family.
Have you had to like arrest your brother or like tell him?
No, he lives in Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I've had, I've had people killed in my family, like in Kansas City. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I've had, like I said, I had a son that was in jail.
Wow.
You know, I got kid problems right now. You know, I was always been there as a father, but been through a bad divorce, and the kids felt like they had to pick a side, so it's kind of split. You know, I've dealt with helping friends through breakups and stuff like that. Exactly. You know, we go through the same things that everybody else goes through. You know what I mean? And actually, I think that most officers want to see communities do well. And it's a misconception that we just want to put everybody in jail. Now you might get some people like that, but most officers don't want to be around that officer.
Yeah, I doubt you wake up and say, "Ooh, I wish a nigga tried me." I can't wait to bust a nigga head today.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I might. I don't know. Again, pent up aggression. I don't know.
Well, yeah, some people might. I mean, but for the most part, I think that people don't know how. Like, we all got our psychological problems, you know what I mean? And they don't know how to address wanting to see the community win. Some of them just say, I ain't messing with that community. I just don't want to mess with it, because they don't know how to relate to it. And then some people say, nah, I like, interacting with people, and they cool with interacting with everybody. It don't matter what their race is, what their gender, if they're gay, straight. We have gay male officers, man, that's more manly than some men that call themselves men or whatever. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I've had some gay friends on the department that are just solid, good parents to their kids and just good people, you know?
So why do you still, you're 20 years in, and you're still working for the police department. You're trying to get to the pension. You have plans of retirement.
At this point, man, I'm working on my pension, working on investments and stuff like that, so that when I retire, I can just be retired.
Right. You don't have to go back.
And our pension hasn't done what it said it was going to do when we originally came on. I guess it's just the way of the world right now.
That's a whole nother situation.
Yeah.
So I have to ask then, again, this is what we touched on last time, and I just want your thoughts on it once again. Should officers get psych evaluations on a yearly basis?
Yes.
Just to make sure they're able to do this
Actually,
job?
Very good officer, black female officer. Her name is Dee Thornton. I think she's about to retire, but she's still going to be helping out. She started a wellness unit where officers can go and talk to other officers if they're having some problems or they're stressed out about something. Like you said, got some pent up aggression. And if we see somebody with some pent up aggression, say, hey man, you need to go talk to her. Talk to a peer counselor or something.
Like Dr. O or something.
You know, I mean, and to be honest, the way things have gone, and to be honest, it's been like this most of the time. When we see officers and we feel like, hey man, you're gonna get everybody in trouble. You need to go home, or you need to figure out whatever's going on with you. Even the white officers, they'll do that and say, hey man, you gotta stop. You're gonna get everybody in trouble. This is a problem. That officer that we were talking about that has the desire to try to arrest everybody and be gung-ho and act like he on TV or some crazy mess like that. Nobody wants to deal with that officer. So
is there a reward for that or something? Like you get a reward for like being over?
Well, it depends on the arrest that you get. I mean, some people might look up to you and say, "Oh man, he badass." He's I mean, but the thing is,
Mike Lowry,
right? But if you balanced, like me and my partner, we were real balanced, and we were in this task force called Operation Disruption. He's Hispanic, I'm black.
Yeah,
we used to get everything. You know why? Because the community loved us. We created
They rooted for you guys.
Yeah, because we genuinely had a concern for those communities to get better. Oak Cliff, South Dallas, Pleasant Grove. We really went into those communities saying, what y'all need from us? And then Miss So-and-so or some of the guys that may have been dealing with something like weed or something like, man, we don't want that crack house over here. They cause too many problems, this and that. And then y'all can call it snitching. I call it community improvement, but guys like me, we'll go talk to those guys and say, look, man, I know what you're doing. Either you're going to stop, if you not, I'm going to do my job.
There you go.
I mean, pick one.
Now,
I can ask you, what is your favorite, cop-oriented show? Like, we have The Wire or movie. We got,
my favorite cop movie was Man on Fire.
Oh, yeah, Denzel did that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went across.
And the Equalizer.
Equalizer.
Both Equalizers.
Now they're making the Equalizer Part 3.
Are they?
They're making Equalizer Part 3. I can't believe Denzel whooping ass like that at that age.
At his age, I don't know.
I'm about to suspend disbelief to see Equalizer 3. But very good movies.
Yeah.
I have to ask you, as far as with young kids today. They're killing each other. I think a 14-year-old just shot an 11-year-old or something like that. I mean, it's just so much gun violence. What do you say to those young kids out there that have free access to weapons and guns? They're gonna. We can't say put up the guns because we're in Texas. The guns are out there.
That's the thing that I'm discovering. We've done a poor job. I don't know if it was the Southern Church. I don't know who said that black people don't need to be messing with guns because. White people have been messing with guns since guns have been invented. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So the thing is, it's a constitutional right to have a weapon in America, but you still need to know how to manipulate and use that gun properly. And we're not educating our children. I educated my children as soon as they were old enough to hold a gun.
You let them ring it off? You let them?
Okay. I took them to the gun range. Taught them how to break it down, clean it, shoot it, put it on safe. The whole nine.
That's real.
Do you think we should have a youth gun range?
Yep. I do.
That actually be pretty.
I really do.
The Boys and Girls Club. We got basketball to the left, and they shooting over here to the right.
Yeah.
We'll find all the killers early.
I mean, and see, those are the kind of things that are not being discussed at the first college I went to was Lindenwood College in St. Charles, Missouri, and that college has I think it's called 3-gun competition. They go to the Olympics. I didn't even know that.
Oh, wow. That's dope.
Yeah, and in order for them to be going to the Olympics in college, they got to be shooting at around 14 or 15 to get to that point where they're that efficient with a gun where they're going to the Olympics. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's facts.
I also want to ask, when you listen to rap lyrics and they say little shit like, man, we up the score and shit like that, do cops be knowing what they be talking about, right?
Everything they saying. Yeah, we know all that. And the thing is, that's another thing. That's a misconception. We grew up on hip hop. I'm 51. I grew up on hip hop. So I didn't stop listening to it. I mean, certain hip hop I don't like because I think it's garbage. But there's a lot of hip hop I still listen to. So
when you hear 21 Savage on Clubhouse and he's saying, man, when nigga beef with us, man, 30 niggas died. Did they immediately go really? Yeah. Be checking these 30 bodies that dropped here.
That's more of a federal thing. Yeah. But I do think they listen to that stuff. Yeah, they listen to it.
These cold cases.
Yeah. If it has any kind of merit to it, they're going to do some investigating. Yeah. They're going to do some investigating. Yeah.
Well, definitely, Officer Larry Bankston, man, we appreciate your insight, man. It's a blessing to have this wealth of knowledge from a 20-year veteran in this police force. Again, for what happened to Tyre Nichols, man, our prayers go out to his family, to the community, and also for the prayers of the families of the officers that they gotta deal with. I know they're dealing with so much backlash as well, and they're innocent victims of what their possible fathers, brothers, sons did. Mm-hmm. for what you have going on for yourself, do you have anything that you're pushing forward for the youth? Are you doing anything outside of just police officer?
I'm a coach. I'm a boxing coach.
Okay, thank you. We need that.
Police athletic
put the guns down. Put the hands up.
Yeah.
Pops.
So Forest and Aldelia, I'm a boxing coach over at that gym.
Okay, yeah. In North Dallas, yeah.
We from.
That's where y'all from?
Yeah. Forest Aldelia.
Yeah, Forest Aldelia boxing gym.
Okay, bet that's you. Okay, you're a coach over there. Man, that's you. How long you been doing that for?
I'm going on a year and a half. I've been trying to do it for a minute, but I just now got over there.
No, bless you. We need that.
Remember I was saying that the guy came in high and wet?
Yeah.
That was the gym. He came in there.
Oh, wow.
High and wet. And so I was like, I got to hurry up and get this dude out of here. I mean, these kids are going to start coming in here. If he gets a hold of one of these kids and hurt them, we going to really be in trouble. So that's what I'm saying. It's like there's a lot of layers to policing and our society that both sides aren't looking at. Yeah. Like when we're dealing with somebody might not understand like why they doing all that. You don't know if we're dealing with someone that's saying real quietly, when I get loose, I'm gonna kill everybody that I come across. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, you gotta deal with it.
And they may be able to snatch somebody out of a car, use the car as a weapon, and just run over as many people as they can. We don't know, but all we know is we were called to handle this person. Something's not right with this person. We got to handle it, because that's our job, is to protect the community at large. Now, I'm not trying to say anything about what we were talking about earlier. That they didn't protect themselves.
That's a lapse in judgment in a lot of things. So all right. Well, with that said, I definitely appreciate your presence, your conversation. Any shout outs you want to give? Is there anyone out there that you want to just basically thank, or any people that we need to be known of? Because you put me on game.
With some I told y'all, Dee Dee Thornton, she's doing amazing things for the Dallas Police Department, and I think departments need to get someone like her. She created a wellness unit, like I said, for officers to talk about any issues that they're having psychologically. You know what I mean? Right. There's a lot of things that the public doesn't hear about. If an officer kills themselves, y'all don't ever hear about that on the news. No, but it happens.
Wow.
Yeah, that's something that they sweep on the rug.
Yeah, we never hear about that. Wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, because it makes the department look bad.
It raises a lot of questions.
Yeah.
It raises a lot of questions. Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, Instagram, social media handles, because again, you made if you want to give your Facebook out,
it's just Larry Bankston Jr. on Facebook. I mean, I heard that only old people use Facebook now.
Hell no.
Oh, well, that's what I was told.
A strong comeback.
Facebook the wave now. You made a post yesterday, but it's getting a lot of traction, getting a lot of shares, a lot of comments. Yeah. I want people to go look at that post and share that post, because you spoke eloquently of this whole situation that's happening in Memphis, and I need them to see that and share that, because it comes from a real place.
Yeah.
And if you have Instagram or even
Bankston Hughes, Bankston Hues. Hughes on Instagram.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, Officer Larry Bankston, man, a 20-year vet of the Dallas Police Department, man. We thank you for coming through, man. We appreciate your services.
Y'all.
And, man. Man, for real. We calling you directly, man, but we got to say it, man.
Man, and please, I just want...
If my girl gets cheated, I need to track that car.
Track that. Hey, we need that tracker.
Yeah.
We need that tracker. Man, but you are a real life street star. We salute it. Blessings.
Appreciate it.
Shout out RealLyfe Street Stars, nigga. Moolah. Hey.